Hello, back on track with Littleland, and we have a vocal line. So Pauline recorded the vocals at the weekend, I've just processed them, so they're now in the track. But I'm having a devil of a time getting them mixed with the guitars. I've had to do a lot of the stuff that I would ordinarily reserve for the mixing process at this stage, just to find out what's going on with the song. It's a little bit of a mystery. I did end up re-recording the guitar solo. I'm much happier with that now. So I'm going to play you the entire thing, and then we'll basically have a bit of a look at the lay of the land.
Watching the rain on the road, dreaming of home. Wonder how far I can go. The scores are all even, and the deceptions that whisper like heathens. In the still of the night, don't say I'm stalling for time. Don't say I'm waiting to see if the sky's falling. Lend me your hand for a while. Take me to Littleland, tell me a story. Was that a glint in your eye? What do you know? And like a dusting of snow, there goes the fever. All of the schemes and the dreams half begun. Let them fade in the sun, drifting down rivers unknown, lifting our face to the breeze, heading for morning. Somehow I found my way home. Take me to Littleland, tell me a story.
Okay, so as you can see, I've done quite a bit of effect processing on the vocals just to try to get them to sit well in the song. I might have pulled the guitars too far back as well. I think they're a little bit too quiet now.
Watching the rain on the road, dreaming of home.
So I'm using the ducking technique on the delay track here. Let's have a look at that first. So basically the vocals are sidechained into the delay track. This is the sidechain compression here, and you can see that it's brutal. Very low threshold, very high ratio. So when I press play, you'll see the compressor, every time Pauline sings a syllable, it heavily compresses the delay. That basically means very little signal gets through to the delay, so it can't do much work. And then as she stops singing, the compression releases, and then the effect kind of just magically comes back to life.
Wonder how far I can The scores are all even.
So that shape of curve is the release time. So that's one of the most important things to kind of try to get right, that you've got the correct release. So as the vocal stops, then the delay is allowed to kind of bloom into being in the shape of whatever that curve is.
Wonder how far I can go. The scores are all even.
And it just makes the delay get out of the way. When the vocals are actually singing, you don't want that, that weighty bounce of delay. So I think that's a really good effect. It always works. I've used it a few times now and it's just great. This is my current reverb of choice. I absolutely love this thing. It's just awesome. We've also got a reverb, which is far less dramatic. Nice, simple. I am a fan of the Arturia effects. Who would have thought? But yeah, this reverb is really nice. It's actually edging out the Pro R at the moment, which was my go-to reverb unit of choice. It just has so few knobs on it, it doesn't stress my brain. I don't have to think about it. It always sounds good. In terms of the channel itself, got a tiny amount of DS on. It's almost hardly worth discussing because it's so little.
In the still of the night.
Yeah, it's hardly even kicking in at all. That's because my main input bus, the microphone that I'm talking to you on right now, is the same microphone that Pauline sings into, and there's a de-esser on the track. So it's basically processing all the time, and it's set quite gently. You can hear there is still sibilance there, but it's just taken a little bit off, so I didn't need to put very much more on. And this compressor is working reasonably hard.
Don't say I'm stalling for time. Don't say I'm waiting to see if the sky's falling.
And then, a matter of personal choice at the moment, I'm really liking the element of Pauline's vocals, which are kind of ethereal and spacey. And what it basically means is that I'm really giving a kick to these 5Ks. If I take it out,
Don't say I'm waiting to see if the sky's falling.
those mids don't need to be there. They're in the way of the guitar, and that's not where the sweet spot of the vocals are, I don't think. So I'm scooping them out, and I'm giving a pretty hefty boost on that 5K.
Don't say I'm waiting to see if the sky's falling.
So that's why it wouldn't be a bad idea, actually, for me to possibly put the de-esser. I hadn't thought about this. I could put the de-esser after this EQ, because that's obviously those frequencies that are being accentuated. And if I really want to make sure that nothing too egregious pops out, I could put the de-esser afterwards. I've not tried that. Generally speaking, I have the de-esser at the top for obvious reasons. Get rid of the problem before you do any more processing on it. But it turns out that in a very controlled way, without really hearing that kind of thing, that's where Pauline's voice sounds best, I think.
Take me to Littleland, tell me a story.
You can just hear there's a kind of a ee right at the very end. That's because these HD 650s are open. And so as Pauline's listening to the song, that's when the solo kicks off, so you can just hear it. I don't worry about headphone bleed. It's way, way too quiet in the song. You absolutely do not hear it. The solo, I think in the last episode I was saying, should I re-record it? It wasn't brilliantly played. I think I am much happy with this performance. I changed some of the notes. It was a little bit too languid in places. It just flows much better now. One technical point to note, and it's one of these things that every now and again I'll do something and then I think I'm going to do that again. That just brings all of the... That's really annoying that it does that. That I played a note and then slid up to other notes without plucking, without any more right hand action, and so they're almost ghost notes. And I like that. That's something that I intend to do a lot more of in the future. In fact, I'm practicing at the moment. I need to do a video on it. Recording or playing solos, just generally lots and lots of guitar practice is the order of the day at the moment. And I'm getting to the stage where I'm almost ghosting entire runs, where I'm not worrying about voicing the notes. And I like the fact that it's kind of an almost suggested note. So that could be something that I think it's okay to actively work on what your own style is going to be. You know, what are the things that I play, that I hear, that I like the sound of? Well, why don't I double down on those things? It might not be a particularly common thing to kind of, play suggested notes without articulating everything. It's not technically what what the textbooks will tell you to do, but screw the textbooks. Anyway, there we are. Yeah, like I say, it's a troubled relationship at the moment. It always seems, just as I get to the point where I'm about to mix a song, I say, I'm having a problem with this one. I don't know what it is, whether or not it's because all of the sound is there and it hasn't been properly mixed yet, and it's just a big clutter. I don't know. I did say I was talking about putting some synth lines in at the end, but now the vocals are there. I said I need to get the vocals there to decide what, if any, additional work needs to be done. Maybe it doesn't need it, I don't know. I'm going to leave this one for a week or so now, just let it bed down with those vocals in place, come back, give it a listen with a bit more fresh ears. There's nothing like processing a vocal line to absolutely ruin an enthusiasm for a song. It's quite a thing, because we did about 15 takes of those vocals, so choosing the best ones was pretty arduous. Anyway, I'll shut up. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please hit the like button. I'll see you next time.